Three riders have dominated East Coast Lights racing this season. Josh Grant raced to victory last week in the Motor City, as points leader Davi Millsaps was left behind. Chris Gosselaar continues to impress with another third place showing. The Lights East Coast plate is still up for grabs. Can Josh Grant continue his win streak here in Houston? Or will Davi Millsaps finally wrap things up and walk away with the East Coast plate? Saddle up. Supercross Lights action next on Speed. Mobile AMA Supercross Lights East Coast Series is in the Lone Star State. Tonight in Houston's Reliant Stadium, the coveted #1 plate will be awarded to one of two riders, points leader Davi Millsaps or the rider with all the momentum, Josh Grant. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside former Supercross Lights champion Denny Stevenson. Josh Grant comes in with 2 race wins back-to-back. But Davi Millsaps has a big points lead, Denny. Is it just too much for Josh to overcome?
You know, I'm afraid it probably is. Davi Millsaps coming in with a 22-point lead. All Josh Grant can do is go out and win, get a main event victory. And if he does that, he'll beat Davi in 4 wins to just Davi's 3. And if can't win the title, you might as well win more races than the next guy. But tonight is Davi Millsaps' championship, really.
Well, let's show you the point standings for the Supercross Lights East Coast Series. And as Denny mentioned, Millsaps does have a 22-point lead over Josh Grant coming into tonight's round here at Reliant Stadium. So what does that mean? What are the scenarios for the title fight here tonight? Davi Millsaps only needs to finish 17th or better no matter what Josh Grant does here tonight in order to just lock up the title. For Josh Grant to win, he needs to win the race and or finish second and hope that Millsaps has a whole bunch of problems here tonight. Now we show you the road to tonight's main event. We'll have 2 heat races, and we'll take the top 9 finishers from those 2 heats straight to the main event. If you haven't transferred to the main out of the heats, you'll get another shot in the last chance qualifier for the final positions in tonight's 22-rider, 15-lap main event. Earlier today, Denny had the chance to sit down with Martin Davalos to take a look at tonight's racetrack.
Earlier today, Star Racing's Martin Davalos took us a lap around this Texas track. Take it away, Martin.
Yeah, here we go to the first rhythm section. You got get a double, triple, double into the corner. Here we have some rods here that you jump all the way over. You can either go outside, on, off. Here in the turn, you do like a single jump on, jump off. To the inside or outside, you can wheel top here, double, jump all the way over, and triple here in second gear. Click third to this corner, and we have a kind of little set of whoops. And here we go to a corner with a triple, a pretty big triple here, and another double. This is pretty much the bigger set of whoops here. They're kind of capped out too. And this is the last corner and the finish line double. That's the course here in Houston.
Well, before we begin with the first race of the night, let's introduce you to the third member of our broadcast crew. Here's Aaron Bates with tonight's Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Well, a unique story here tonight, and that's the story of number 24, Josh Grant. People don't know this, but he actually basically started his racing career here in Houston. He moved down here when he was an 80s rider, and he stayed with what he calls his second family. That's the family of injured rider James Marshall. Soon after, he was picked up riding for Team Honda of Houston, where he met his mechanic, Naveen Dasanaka, and as soon as he had finished doing that, he finally got picked up with Team Sobi Samsung Honda, which brings us here to tonight with his best friend Naveen when he looked at him and said, if I'm moving to this team, you're coming with me. Josh Grant, a slight hometown advantage here in Houston.
All right, Aaron, thank you, and welcome to the crew. Here's our Dunlop start list for heat number 1. Josh Grant is in this one, as you saw him there on the number 24, and Chris Gosselaar on the 102 is also in this heat, Denny, and those 2 riders are the 2 that are trying and have been stalking Davi Millsaps all season.
Well, if this is considered a hometown race for Josh Grant, the last thing you want to do is give the guy a little bit more advantage, a little bit more momentum. The guy's been on fire, but this guy, Chris Gosselaar, he's so pumped to be where he's at right now, but he really wants to get a win under his belt. He's never won a Lights class before, and he wants to reward Pro Circuit's Kawasaki team with a win tonight.
Not to look at Gosselaar on the 102. Boy, he's been awful close too, Denny. Chris Gosselaar has been right in the thick of things. He's been on the podium every round but one, but he just can't get to the top step. And there's Grant. And if it wasn't for the opening round in St. Louis where he finished 22nd, he's been first or second every round after that, and we're racing. Grant out front, taking the early lead.
Grant jumps out front, picks up where he's been leading every weekend, out front, running. I think that is Kelly Smith, just made a pass on his teammate Robbie Canary. Canary last weekend ran third up until the last section of whoops in the last lap, crashed and had that third spot over to Gosselaar. No doubt wanting to redeem himself tonight.
That's Kelly Smith on the number 37. The 54 right behind him is Robert Canary. They ride second and third. And then, of course, Gosselaar on that number 102, stalking them back there behind him, trying to close in. What do you think about the racetrack layout here tonight, Denny?
You know, I had a chance to walk the track with some of the top guys and some of the Dirtworks crew today, and really talked about the different lines. There's definitely a lot of different ways to get through some of these sections. You're going to turn right here. You can either drag him back up over the top of it or jump over and jump all the way over this next jump. I mean, a variety of different things. I think the Dirtworks crew has done a great job.
Looks a little slick out there tonight.
It's a little loose on top of a pretty hard packed section or hard base. So I think tire selection tonight's make a big choice. You see these guys sliding all around, trying to take the inside lines rather than going out to the more packed bowls.
Grant really struggling, and Smith's going to take advantage of it. He makes the move and takes over the lead. Now you'll notice the riders across the top of the screen, those in green all hold the top 9 transfer spots straight to tonight's main event. Everybody in red is hoping to improve and maybe earn one of those transfer spots straight to the main.
Now that's one of those sections I talked about earlier. You can go inside and roll it and then jump all the section over, but that time Grant decided to jump on and off. It was much faster, and he made the quick pass around Kelly Smith.
Smith on a Honda, so is Grant. And we're in the early stages here of Heat 1. Supercross Lights East Coast Series underway here in Houston, and we'll be right back after this. Speed's coverage of the Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Lights from Houston is brought to you by Progressive Direct. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or visit progressive.com for a free quote. By Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. By Amped Mobile. Go to amped.com and entertain yourself. And by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. Welcome back to Reliant Stadium. The Supercross Lights East Coast Series underway here in Houston. You're taking a look at the fight for third. The position right now belongs to Robert Canary on the 54. Giving chase is Jay Marmon on the number 111 KTM. The riders in green scrolling across the top of your screen hold the transfer spot straight to tonight's main event. Those in red looking to improve. One of the names we're keeping an eye on is Chris Gosselaar, third in the points. He sits 5th in the race tonight. There's our race leader, Josh Grant.
He's opened up a comfortable lead, a little bit over a second on Kelly Smith. I think it's just that Josh had settled in a little bit there after he took the lead. I think he didn't expect to get repassed, obviously, by Kelly Smith. Kelly caught him by surprise. I think Grant regrouped. He's now pulled out front and he's settled into a good, fast pace.
There's Chris Gosselaar on the 102. He's got the 248 right behind him of Donnie McGurdy. Gosselaar's had such a great season. Really like to finish it off with a win here this year. And here is Josh Grant. Denny running a best lap of a 45.167 here tonight. In the next heat race, we'll see Davi Millsaps. Do you think Millsaps is going to push tonight, or is he just going to try to finish 17th or better?
Well, as Grant takes the win right here, I think Millsaps is going to wait and see how this race kicks off in that main event. If he gets a start out front with Grant, he'll run with it. But if he has to do anything too crazy, I think he's going to settle in and Millsaps try and capture that title while Grant's going to do everything he can to win it.
Well, here are the 9 riders crossing the line. Turkey's in. Let's take you back as we take a look at the finish line. There goes Grant on
to the main event. And those top 9 riders headed to tonight's main event. Grant, Smith, Canary, Marmont, Gosselaar, McGurty, Johnson, Gerke, and Simi are all going straight to tonight's main event. Let's head downstairs now. Here's Aaron Bates.
Managing to keep this battle alive down to the very last round with newfound speed and consistency. Josh, once again at the beginning of the season, you had the corners perfected, but now you've even managed to have the whoops mastered. How have you been able to turn it around?
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit in the whoops tonight. They're small and they got a lot of ruts in them. So I'm struggling a little bit, but hopefully in this 15-lap main I can get through them clean every lap, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So.
You're training all week with veteran Kevin Windham, hopefully having the same success it brought you in Orlando.
Here's your Dunlop starting list for heat number 2. Davi Millsaps, the man who leads the points, is here on his American Honda Motor Company entry. He's going to have some good company with Branden Jesseman and Martin Davalos in this one. What do you think, Denny?
Millsaps is going to show us some of the speed right here. He was the fastest guy today in practice. He's going to want to get a good start here, which he's actually been getting these last few weeks. If you're going to win a title, I think he wants to go out with an exclamation point and get a good win tonight and got to start things off strong in your heat race.
Let's head to Aaron Bates now for another Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Well, guys, a couple of significant details here tonight on tonight's track. First off, a very short start, probably one of the shortest starts that we've seen so far this season. Secondly, you better be good with the whoops, because not only is there one set, there's 2 sets of whoops, and they're very long this weekend, sort of similar to what we saw in Orlando. And thirdly, all the guys here today have been raving about this dirt. It is composed of a lot of manure, which means it's going to absorb a lot of water. It's going to get really hard packed, which is going to create for some slick conditions. That is the scoop on tonight's track.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Here's a look at Davi Millsaps, a man trying to lock up that East Coast title. And Denny, he just doesn't come across overly confident. When you and I were talking to him earlier today, he just seems a little not where you would think the points leader would be.
He's just real laid back. Davi's always had a pretty laid back attitude, and it's coming in that way right now. He's gotten beat the last couple weekends by Josh Grant. I don't know if that's gotten his head or not, but he's pretty focused, I think, on winning the title, and he's got to get it done tonight, obviously.
There's Martin Davalos, the Star Racing Lucas Oil Tornado Helmet Cam. There's a view. Boy, it's tight that first corner.
Josh Grant picking it up, or not Josh Grant, Davi Millsaps, I'm sorry. I'm talking to these two guys about him all night long, and Millsaps showing he's figured out how to get those good starts. And if you have any chance to win the lights main with so much talent involved, you got to get out front. And I think with Grant getting the whole shot, Millsaps getting the whole shot, we're going to be ready for a good main event.
Teddy Meyer on that number 93 is in second. Thomas Hahn on the 42 in third.
Teddy Meyer from Iowa. I grew up kind of near him in Nebraska. He's riding that Parts Limited Kawasaki. He just got passed by Tommy Hahn. Thomas Hahn is Josh Grant's teammate in that Sobe Samsung Honda. Hahn is so close to just kind of breaking out into superstar. I mean, he looked really fast today in practice. He's a great outdoor rider. He's grown up a kid in the Midwest like Hahn did as well. You don't really get a chance to ride a lot of Supercross. And I think Hahn slowly but surely figuring this stuff out.
Some of the people watching tonight, Denny, might be wondering what's so difficult or different about learning how to ride Supercross. What's the key?
Well, when you're growing up as a kid, you're growing up and you're racing a lot of outdoor tracks, a lot of natural terrain tracks, wherever your local builders made for you or whatever the case may be. You don't really come into Supercross until someone comes and builds you a specialty track maybe in your backyard, or you head over and get a factory ride and you start riding some of those tracks. You just show up and race with these events. It's not often you can see something difficult like we're seeing right now, and a lot of guys come into this and they're just way in over their head. And not that Thomas Hahn has. I think he just came in and just finding the speed little by little. And you got to get used to the whoops, these big bowl corners, the big jumps. You just got to figure things out. A little bit more technical job is the Supercross series.
Hahn doing a pretty good job riding in second place right now. Rider on the Honda chasing this man right here, trying to clinch that East Coast Supercross Lights Championship here tonight in Houston. Stay with us for more on Speed.
Cielo,
Millsaps leading here at Reliant Stadium. If he can keep it all together tonight, well, he almost got out of shape right there through the whoops. If he can keep it all together, finish 17th or better in tonight's main event, no matter what happens in front of him, he will be the champion here tonight.
You saw Davi Millsaps get a little sideways, see the whoops, get a little cha-cha action. That's what Josh Grant was referring to in his interview, that the whoop-de-doos have gotten, they're maybe not as big as we've seen some of the races, but they're long and they're very rutted. Davi cross-rode a little bit, the Honda got a little sideways. Being such a big rider like he is, he was able to muscle that Honda, put it right back underneath him, but it did open up the door a little bit for Thomas Hahn, who's closed the gap considerably right now.
But Danny, he doesn't seem to be having the traction problems that we saw Josh Grant have in heat number 1.
I think that Josh, like we've seen with Stewart in the Supercross class for a couple races in Anaheim, he was overriding the track, Josh was a little bit. I think that's when Kelly Smith passed him. Josh realized I need to kind of slow down a little bit, ride the conditions of the track. He slowed down and he went faster when he figured out the track a little slippier than he thought.
On board with Martin Davalos, who rides in 3rd right now, trying to catch Hahn. He's got Mayer right behind him.
Martin trying to find some of that success he had earlier in the season. He's had some decent results last couple weeks, in the 5th and the 10th. We had a couple 20ths in there as well, and he's trying to pick that pace up, find himself on the box here at this final East Coast round.
You can see how much Hahn is closed up on Millsaps as we are working the last lap here of heat number 2. Remember, top 9 riders, the riders in green across the top of your screen, transfer straight to the main. This time it looks like Millsaps gets through the whoops a lot better. Checkered flag falls. Millsaps takes the win. He's going straight to the main, as will the next 8 riders to cross the line. Hahn was pretty much right there with him. You can see the gap back. Now Davalos finally crosses the line.
Another thing that can help Grant in his title chase is get Thomas Hahn, his teammate, maybe battle with Millsaps. Get Millsaps to make a mistake and maybe rat him a little bit.
Take you back and show you the whole shot as the gate dropped.
Short hole shot right here, but you see Davi Millsaps, that factory Honda right there, just rocket to the front. Runs wide in his bowl corner and just shoots out front and grabs that hole shot. And if Davi Millsaps wants to win tonight, he's got to start out front. And he's got that down pat tonight already.
Davi led this one from beginning to end as he crossed the finish line jump. The 118 is headed straight to the main event. Here's a look at the results. Remember, the top 9 will go on to the main. They begin with Millsaps and end with Marley on the 9-10. So Johnny Marley out of Guthrie, Oklahoma is going straight to the main. Let's head downstairs to Aaron.
Well, Davi Millsaps, cool, calm, and collected. Davi, I gotta ask you, what is your secret keeping your composure together here tonight with the pressure of the championship on your shoulders?
You know, I don't know. I got the whole shot again, and I don't know, rode my own race. You know, I backed it down a little bit the whole moto, you know, just to ride safe, and you know, that's what I did, and you know, Tom rode a good race too. So,
hoping to seal the deal here tonight, Davi Millsaps, your winner of heat number 2.
So Millsaps is going on to the main, one step closer to that East Coast Championship. We're coming back for more from Houston after these words here on Speedy. Wednesday night on Speed, don't miss the Hit Series Pinks. Watch as Egos, Pride, and Titles go on the line. Classic rides, crotch rocket motorcycles, and custom-built dragsters. They're all on the line. No lights, no tricks. The premise is simple. Lose the race, lose your ride. Pinks, Wednesday night at 9, exclusively on Speed. Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas, the site of the next round here for the Supercross Lights East Coast Series. And here's our Dunlop starting list for the last chance qualifier. Craig Schnell, Chris Blows, brother Michael in this one as well. Final few spots available in tonight's main event. 22 riders in 15 laps.
Got to keep an eye on this in this last chance qualifier, Josh Woods, that Rockstar Suzuki. I think if we held every race in the state of Michigan, Josh Woods would step up his program. He got a 7th last weekend. I expect him to get into this main event right here in this last chance qualifier.
Here we go. This one is scheduled for just 4 laps, and Denny, that's a good look at how the multiple lines change things up so quickly here tonight in Houston. And it's the 732 jumping out, Kyle Chisholm.
Kyle, very good friends with James Stewart, spends a lot of time riding with him. Kyle, we've seen some good things. He's laid some fast lap times in practice, but he's really yet to put the things together to main event. One way to get to main event is have to go to last chance qualifier and give a little bit extra time on this track here in Houston. Good view, overhead view, how difficult those whoops are right there for these guys.
Blows, Chris Blows on the 177 sits in second. Johnson, Chad Johnson out of Rhinelander, Wisconsin on the 827 rides along in third, and then the 146 in fourth position is Greg Schnell out of Rancho Cucamonga, California.
The guide suggests you keep an eye on Josh Woods. He's back in fifth, just one spot out of this transfer spot. With a 4-lap race, you don't have a lot of time for mistakes. The start is key. You see Chad Johnson right there in third, Greg Schnell in fourth, and right behind him, just out left of your screen there is his teammate Josh Woods.
As the names scroll across the top of your screen, it's those 4 riders in green that hold the transfer spots to that 15-rider main event. 47.5, the best lap of the night so far by Chisholm. Close, less than a couple of ticks behind him.
Chisholm's ran a 14th and a 15th the last couple of weeks. Slowly but surely picking things up. He just ran the amateur series last weekend. Or last year, I'm sorry. And now turned pro here with his Richmond Kawasaki team with Billy Willie leading the way. Blows there in second. Blows, we see some good things from him as well. He lives out west in Arizona. He raced the Arena Cross Series. Oh, and down Chisholm goes.
Down goes the leader.
Wow.
Those whoops have been so tricky tonight.
They're gotten very rutted and edged. Josh Grant talked about at the beginning of the show. They're a long set. It's nice to see some long whoops back, and they're not very deep, so they can hurt you, but they're just rutted and grooved enough that they can put you on the ground just like that. Just see it from Kyle Chisholm.
Throws you off that rhythm awful quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, when they real big and you drop a front end, boom, you're down. It's a big crash. That's fortunate, not that deep. They changed things up a little bit this last few rounds. Kyle just caught an edge, dropped the front end, and off in the tough box. He will not be making the main event tonight.
This is a fight for the transfer spot. Woods and Michael Blows. Back to the front we go. Chris Blows on the 177, another whoop section. Here comes Johnson, and the win goes to Blows. Johnson holds on for second. Schnell and Woods take third and fourth, and Michael Blows just misses the last chance qualifier. So he will head to the grandstands to cheer on Brother Chris in the main event. Let's take a look back and show you what happened in that whoop section.
We saw the top view earlier when this race was going on. You see Chisholm now jumping through him, keeping the front end light. The thing just bucks him a little bit far forward. He just loses control, and off the track he goes. It just shows how difficult the sport of Supercross is. Just like that, it reaches up, grabs you, and poor Chisholm, he'll be watching from the stands.
And look at the results of the top 4 riders moving on. Blows, Johnson, Schnell, and Woods punch the final 4 tickets for tonight's main event. Let's head downstairs. Here's Aaron Bates.
Well, Chris Blows making it happen here in the LCQ. Chris, you've had a little extra lap time out here tonight. How are the track conditions holding up right now?
Track conditions are actually holding up really good. The whoops are pretty tough. They're pretty choppy, but other than that, track's good.
Making it into the main event. Chris Blows winning the LCQ.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Tuesday night on Speed, it's build or bust. Can a novice bike builder create a custom chopper like the pros? Here's their chance to put up or shut up. Watch as these rookies pour their hearts and soul into building their dream bike. So what's the catch? Well, they only get 30 days. Build or bust. Tuesday night, 10 Eastern, only on Speed. Speaking of build or bust, Davi Millsaps has built up a great championship fight. Will he collect the trophy in the #1 plate here tonight, or will he bust and hand the title over to Josh Grant? Stay with us here on Speed. Main events coming up. Dave Despain heats up the airwaves. Join Dave for scorching opinions, fired up fans, the hottest stars of motorsports. Call or email and jump in the middle of the latest racing debate. Win Zone with Dave Despain tonight, 9 Eastern, exclusively on Speed. Supercross Lights East Coast main events getting set here at Reliant Stadium. Here's your Dunlop starting list. 3 main players this season have been Chris Gosselaar, Josh Grant, and Davi Millsaps. And really it comes down to Millsaps and Grant here tonight.
Yeah, keep building it up with Josh Grant wanting to win this main event, obviously, and let whatever happens, happens. And, you know, Davi Millsaps, if Josh does win, Josh will have 4 wins, only Millsaps 3. But in the end, only thing you remember is winning the title.
Here's Aaron Bates with another Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Well, guys, you want to keep your eyes on the 2 Hondas behind me here tonight, the number 118 of Davi Millsaps and the number 24 of Josh Grant. This is going to be the last time this season that we're going to see these 2 compete together for points, and both of them coming into tonight's round with 3 wins each, looking for a 4th. The next time we see them is going to be for bragging rights at the East-West Shootout in Las Vegas, where both guys had great success last year. Davi Millsaps taking the win and Josh Grant taking 3rd, which marked his very first Supercross Lights podium debut.
And of course, you'll see that East-West Shootout here on Speed. But this is the championship scenario we've been talking about. Millsaps, 17th or better, it's all he's got to do. A lot of it. Or Josh Grant. It's pretty tough without Millsaps having a problem.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Davi Millsaps wants to win this race. But I see if Josh Grant gets out front, Davi's going to ride a smart race and win this title. Because, like I said, in the end, no one remembers who won what race. They're going to remember who is the 2006 East Lights champion.
Now, if Millsaps gets the whole shot, could be a different story. Here we go.
Scattered everywhere.
That's Chris Blows on the 177.
Reliant Johnson, that looked like Branden Jesseman down as well. One thing this East Lights series is never short of excitement. Guys crashing all over on this opening lap.
And Millsaps is very deep in the field right now. Oh, another rider now.
Right,
There's
John's on track.
Grant right there, and he can't get his fight started, can he? And that's going to pretty much end his chances of maybe winning this title.
Just like that, Grant makes a mistake, kills the motorcycle, and that moves Davi Millsaps up into 2nd. I believe that's a 321 rider, Chad Ward. We saw him go down pretty heavily earlier this season. He's made a strong comeback, and now the young man is out front leading this East Coast Lights race in Houston, Texas.
And Davi Millsaps sits in 2nd with Josh Grant struggling to get his fight going. Millsaps now probably rides hard to win this, take this away,
Yep.
and put the exhibition win on it that you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. Ralph, he's the king of this class. He's going to end it up trying to win this, make this pass to Josh Ward, make a smooth pass, go around the outside, and set himself up for this title.
Right there, beautiful inside move. Oh, and then the different lines come into play.
Yep, Davi Millsaps is inside advantage. He's going to drop in. He's going to jump over this jump. Chad Ward is going to drop in behind Davi Millsaps. And it's going to say goodbye to Davi Millsaps, your 2000 East Coast Lights champion. I mean, barring any mistakes, but he's rode a pretty flawless season so far.
Big sigh of relief, you got to believe, for Davi Millsaps. Now he just needs to put in 12 more good laps.
Exactly. I mean, he is not any longer buried traffic. He doesn't have to worry about any riders crashing in front of him, having to dodge those guys. He can now settle on his own race. We see Tommy Hahn take over that 2nd spot. He was kind of an unknown factor that maybe he could get in there and mix things up, help Josh Grant in the title. Now Thomas Hahn's more concerned about just putting himself in the podium. Chris Gosselaar there in 3rd. We were hoping, or he's hoping, to maybe finish this season out with a win, but another podium could be pretty exciting for that Monster Energy Kawasaki rider.
That's Gosselaar all in green, holding down 3rd. And RC Davalos carrying our helmet cam here tonight. You can see problems to the front of the bike up here, and he's done it out.
Yeah, his sleeve's gone out there. His bars look like they might be a little bent. His front number plate tweaks. A big crash from Martin, and unfortunately, as he tries to refire that Star Racing Yamaha, he will be buried back in the pack.
There's the 118. Man looking to wrap up this championship.
He's rode a very smart season. Wins when he can, taking some smart second place when he knew when it was a safe spot to finish, and now tonight avoids the corner that Josh Grant got caught up in. Now he's just out front, making things happen to get this Honda team their championship they've been working so hard for.
And Denny, Josh Grant is officially off the racetrack and out of the race. So that's going to hand this championship right to Davi Millsaps. It will be your 2006 Motoworld Supercross Lights East Coast Series champion.
Thomas Hahn's keeping him pretty honest right now. He's only a couple seconds back. You know, Davey might settle in a little bit too much. Thomas Hahn's obviously very hungry. He has nothing to lose. He wants to win this if he can, this event. So this race is definitely not over. The title might be, but this race definitely is not.
There is Josh Grant, ejected, sitting off. All he can do is watch, think about what might have been, and wait for the East-West shootout coming up from Las Vegas. And maybe
That's Sylvie Samsung rider should not hang his head low. Josh Grant had an incredible season. He set the stage for an outstanding outdoor season. It's coming up. Josh Grant, he's done excellent this year, man. He should hang his head high. He should not be disappointed in the least.
I think the only reason why he's frustrated is because he knows he was right there. I did not there for the 27th place finish in St. Louis. No.
Yeah, but he's young, and he'll have many more opportunities at this championship. He will be a definite player and a favorite coming in 2007.
No doubt about it. Meanwhile, this is a fight for second, or the win, I should say. This is Davi Millsaps trying to hold on second place. Coming on.
You know, Hahn has made up 0.6 seconds in that last lap.
The Asterisk medical crew, Doc Bodner, and them talking to him. Here's why.
See, Grant, he's an aggressive rider. He dropped the inside right there, and he just got caught up. The front end, the other guy's motorcycle, I think that's Teddy Mayer, went up in the side Josh Grant's motorcycle and just tucked him, and down he went. He knew he had to get to the front. He knew his only way to win his title was to win the race. He let it all hang out.
Well, Millsaps has gotten the message from his mechanic that he is out in front of this championship is his, but he's also got the message that Thomas Hahn is right behind him. Will he be able to hold him up here in the closing stages of Houston? We'll have a finish for you, and the championship trophies handed out after this. Welcome back to Houston's Reliant Stadium, the Supercross Lights East Coast Series, their last points race of the year. Davi Millsaps, a rider in red on the 118 Honda, leads this one, and is just a couple of laps away from claiming the #1 plate. Here's what happened when the gate dropped.
You see the rider right here. I believe that's Brian Johnson. He can come in there and try and get a good tight inside run. There's Josh Grant. That's going to be his mistake because he get buried back in the middle of the pack. And he just, when you get buried in the middle of the pack, you're stuck with other riders. And Chad Ward, on the other hand, he gets the whole shot. Tries to take off. And he's buried back right now. Chad Ward in the 16th position.
Davi Millsaps, a rider out of Georgia. Came into this East Coast Series, Denny, and everybody said, this is the guy we expect to win this championship. He came out of the box and looked like he was going to do just that handily, winning the first round in St. Louis, second in Atlanta, and then went on a streak of winning the next two in Indianapolis and Daytona, and then backed it up with 2 more seconds in Orlando and Detroit. But it was those 2 rounds in Orlando and Detroit where Josh Grant claimed 2 wins, and some questions arose as to whether or not Millsaps would actually put this thing away.
And he just took another mistake by Grant to open things up. Millsaps is title to lose right now. Obviously, he's got this thing locked up. It's his deal, but look at the rider second. Thomas Hahn has not given up on this race. He has an opportunity. Millsaps is encountering lap traffic, anything can happen when you get the lappers. Thomas Hahn laying down some fast lap times. He's closing the gap, loses a little bit of ground, and closing the gap once again. And Millsaps has got to be so excited. You know he's riding tight. He's got to be nervous. Last season he lost by the title by 6 points behind Grant Langston and Josh Hansen. Millsaps this season has a chance of a lifetime, promoted this lifetime. I believe, as we both heard, he's possibly going to go to the Supercross class in 2007.
Expected to ride the Supercross series at some of the last West Coast events of the year. There's Gosselaar sitting in third. And Chris, such a tremendous story this year, having only finished off the podium just one time in Atlanta, where he still had a top 10, finishing in 9th. 4 third-place finishes at the last 4 rounds. That's one thing that Chris would like to change. See if he could move up 2 more spots on podium. He was second in the opening round in St. Louis.
Another interesting fact with Josh Grant off the track, Chris Gosselaar now in position to move into 2nd place in the points. I mean,
what a story that is, considering he didn't even have a ride just before the season began.
And he's so excited. He was in our morning meeting. We had it this morning. He just got a grin ear to ear. He knows he's had some opportunities to win. He's gotten tight. He just hasn't quite delivered because he wants to do more. He's never satisfied, and it's great to see him making things happen with a mistake like Josh Grant. He's got a possibility of taking home that 2nd spot. There's no shame in that whatsoever. An outstanding year for Chris Gosselaar.
3 laps to go for Davi Millsaps, and the championship will be his. Danny, you've won a Supercross Lights title. What's it mean to earn that #1 place?
It's powerful, you know. I mean, it's a championship, and not too many guys get an opportunity to do it. You know, obviously it's not the Supercross one, but a Lights title. Mine was 125 because it was way back in the day when 4 strokes weren't running. But it is an incredible accomplishment for Davi Millsaps. I mean, the Lights championship, which was supposed to be a stepping stone to Supercross class, it's a big title. A lot of money involved nowadays. This is for Davi Millsaps. So I believe he's won a lot of big things in his career. This is just a chapter in his book. A huge accomplishment for him.
And as we said, coming into it, he was expected by most of the industry insiders to win this thing. And he really had to deliver on it. There was a lot of pressure on him to do that.
I think he's matured a lot, you know, from the Suzuki days. I heard he rode Suzuki. Some of the guys weren't too happy with his training regime, maybe the way he's focused on his riding and stuff. But right now, we see a much more mature Millsaps. He's done what he needed to do in this title. He's not done anything foolish, not taking dumb chances. Right now, he had a little pressure from Thomas Hahn. He just stepped the pace. This is going to be your champion. And with, like he said a number of times right now, with a huge exclamation point.
The exciting thing now for the rest of us who are fans of Supercross will be to see the East Coast and West Coast get together later this year out in Vegas and see Davi go up against the Grant Langstons and Ryan Filippotos, and what we can expect in Vegas. It'll be exciting.
He took him down last season. He was a shootout winner last year in Vegas, and he's got to be one of the favorites for 2006 once again.
Celebrating.
Got a lot of momentum carrying into it.
Celebrating is Davi Millsaps making its way around to the checkers and a championship. The Supercross Lights East Coast title for 2006 goes to American Honda's Davi Millsaps. He brings it all together, delivering on the promises.
Really have to take your hat off to Team Honda. They've really put together an outstanding lights program this season with the factory effort of Andrew Short and Davi Millsaps, and Sophie Samsung team with Josh Grant, Billy Leninovich, and Thomas Hahn. Not enough to be said for the Red Riders.
Congratulations to the mechanic. A hard-fought fight, and here's how it began with the whole shot.
Again, you're going to see Brian Johnson at Yamaha. It looks like he's going to get the whole shot. Chad Ward's going to throw a little bit of an elbow into him right here. He's going to put Brian Johnson off the track. But quickly, Davi Millsaps will make his move up to the front of the pack and win this race with ease.
Josh Grant had a shot at the title till right here.
He rode aggressive. He made him make an aggressive move on Teddy Mare, but Teddy Mare's front wheel of his motorcycle gets sucked up. Grant has nowhere to go, goes down, and he had to do everything he could to win the race, and he just tried to ride a little bit too aggressive.
Meanwhile, Davi Millsaps only had to finish 17th or better. He puts the exclamation point with the win, his 4th of the year out of 6 or 7 races for this championship. Davi Millsaps, the 2006 Supercross Lights East Coast champ. Thomas Hahn, Chris Gosselaar for the 3rd place finish. We'll be back to talk to the champ after this. Here's one more look at those final results. Davi Millsaps taking the win. And let's head downstairs as Aaron Bates. Davi Millsaps has a new jersey to wear.
While sealing the deal here tonight, winning the championship. Davi, first off, congratulations, but a season unlike no other. Struggling through adversity, new bike, new team, whatever the challenge was, you were able to overcome it and prevail. What means more to you? Well, where does this moment rank, and what does this championship mean to you?
Yeah, this championship is awesome. It's been working my whole life to get a Supercross championship, and I don't know. I had bad races. Second was a bad race, and I don't know. I was going for the war, not the battle, and I won it.
Well, hey, to do the honors here, we've got AMA Series Manager Steve Whitelock. Steve Whitelock presenting the #1 plate. Davi Millsaps taking home the East Coast Championship.
And he does have a new jersey. If he would turn around for us, he's got a #1 on his back. And that's what you get. Most of the guys wear their jerseys backwards when they win a title like that. Here's a look at the point standings. Chris Gosselaar, 32 back behind to take the 2nd place position over Josh Grant, who had a great year, but ends up finishing 3rd in the championship. So Millsaps wearing that new jersey around. Maybe not the way most guys do when they win a championship, but trust us, it does say #1, Millsaps on the back. Here's Aaron.
Well, the last race of the season, and he's able to put it all together here in Houston. Tommy Hahn. Tommy, how did you make it happen here tonight? We saw you have a heat race win in Daytona, but this is the first time we've seen you up here on the podium so far this season. What was the difference tonight?
I don't know, growing up I grew up in Kansas, and I always raced down in Texas, so the dirt suits me really good. I felt really comfortable tonight, and it's better late than never. I'd rather do it the last race than no races, so that's what I work for every day. Davi and Chris, they rode an awesome race, and my hats are off to Davi for winning a championship. He really worked hard, and I'm proud of him.
Putting together a solid race here tonight in Houston, Tommy Hahn.
And our Buku Big Air replay of the night is going to be the man who wins the race and the championship. Davi Millsaps out of Georgia, sky and high here tonight in Houston to win the title. Send back to Aaron one more time.
Well, not the way he wanted to end off the season. Chris Gosselaar taking home a 3rd place. Chris, what went on there tonight?
Man, it was that was the toughest race of the season, I think, so far for me. I struggled in the whoops all night, so. I'm happy to come out 3rd, 2nd overall in the series. I'm kind of bummed I didn't win, but oh well, I have next year, and I learned a lot this year, and I just want to thank my team for giving me this opportunity. It really means a lot to me, and I wouldn't be up here without them.
Congratulations, a very successful season overall for Chris Gosselaar.
Well, the championship is in the books, and these youngsters enjoyed it. They too can dream about possibly winning a #1 plate. Denny, you know what that's all about, and now one belongs to Davi Millsaps.
Huge accomplishment. He wasn't the fastest at some of the events, but he's the fastest guy overall in this season. He's going to carry that #1 plate, and he'll never forget it. And maybe someday he can sit up here next to you like I am, Ralph.
Well, I doubt I'd have as much fun with him as I do with you. And I think we have to give a big tip of the hat to Chris Gosselaar and to Josh Grant.
Both riders outstanding. Chris Gosselaar rebounded, gave his team a lot of podium positions, 2nd the points, and Josh Grant, you saw him hanging his head. He looked a little disappointed, but he rocked it.
Here's our Toyota moving forward schedule. Up next on Speed, Supercross from Dallas. Sunday, April 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Supercross Lights, that'll be a West Coast show coming your way soon. And we still got to wrap up that title, and then it's all about the road to Vegas coming in May. All of the stars are going to be in Vegas, and so will Speed, and we hope you will join us there. Coming up next here on Speed is Speed News for all the news and highlights from around the world of motorsports. Well, the Supercross Lights East Coast Championship is in the books, and it goes to Davi Millsaps. For Aaron Bates, Denny Stevenson, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Houston's Reliant